Welcome everyone to a new Let's Play. Been a while since I've done one, so why not Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney? Let us start, shall we, with the first Turnabout. Episode 1, the first Turnabout. Gasp, gasp. Damn it, why me? Well, because you had the weapon. I can't get caught. Not like this. And here's our murderer in this case. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Now let us start off with August 3rd. 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defense Lobby, number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. And here's our mentor, Maya Fey. Oh, hi, Chief. Phew, I'm glad that you made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes a murder trial right off the bat like this. Says a lot about you and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out as any way I can. I just really want to help. Whatever. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death, despair. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. It sounds like he wants to die. Well, no shit. Yeah. And here's our client, Larry Butts. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I am so guilty. Tell him I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. Well, he seems enthusiastic. Oh, it's all over. I am finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who would take her away from me, Nick? Well, if you just watch the beginning, you'll see. Aw, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death. The newspaper says it was you. Can we tell him anyway? Ah, damn it. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a very simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school has a saying, whenever something smells, it's usually the Butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone, he's a good guy at heart. And and I owe him one. Which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. Alright, let the trial commence. There's the good old judge. The court's now in session for the trial of Larry Butts. Rival prosecutor Winston Payne. And there's us, Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ahem. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, sir. Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduction during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thanks. Thank you, Your Honor. That's right. Given the circumstances, I think we have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Gulp. Hands shaking. Eyesight fading. Alright. The test will consist of a few questions. Answer them clearly and cohesively. Please state the name of the defendant. No, duh, it's Larry. The defendant, well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Phew, I know this one. Glad I read the case reports to cover so many times. Wait. Uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up for this? You don't even know the victim's name. Oh, the victim, of course, I know that. Just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the defendant's name is listed in the courtroom records. Just touch the courtroom record buttons to check anytime, okay? Remember to check often. Do it for me, please, I'm begging you. Let's hear your answer. Who's the victim of this case? Let's see. Foreshadow, Cinder Block, or Sydney Stone. Well, just for fun, let's check the profile. Right, Cindy Stone. Alright. There we go. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit by a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You have answered all my questions. I see no reason why we should proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed. That's for sure. Well, you seem relaxed, my friend. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you care to explain to the court what that object was? The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying to the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts this into the evidence. Alright. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Touch the courtroom, blah 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 blah. We know this already. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant Larry Butts to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. There he gets excited easily. This could be bad. Well, let's see if it'll be bad for him. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls. Or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you, man? Mr. Butts, what you just described is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it. Lies, I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Alright, we got the passport. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but didn't have a large income. It appears she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see that what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell him, Mr. Butts, what did you think of her now? Phoenix, right? I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth all the wrong directions. Should I? Let's stop him from answering. My client has no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oof. Wince. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That's she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Way to help us, Larry. I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Gulp. Did you or did you not? Heh, well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Have him answer honestly. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went there. This is helping our case so perfectly. Well, Mr. Butts, dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so I, didn't see her. God, his objection. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who's your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Oh, boy. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Shaw to the stand. I always found him like a creepy frickin' Mr. Rogers. Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Shaw, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell us in the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony. Witness account. I was going to the door-to-door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment building. I thought he must have been in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked over the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment was not working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting over there. Okay, Larry, what did you do? Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Shaw used was the phone inside. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. I'm so bad with words. Now then, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, Wright, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you're exposed a lie in his testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is it your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compared to the witness testimony and the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction somewhere in there. First, find the contradiction between the court records and the witness testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness' face. Okay. Touch the courtroom records and point out the contradiction in his testimony. Alright, let's see. I was going through the door, blah blah blah, telling when I'm fleeing apart. I thought he must have been in a hurry because he left the door half open. Thinking it's strange, I look over inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. However, she died between 4 and 5 p.m. He found the body at 1 o'clock p.m. Were you sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. there was nobody to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that. Oh, What do you want this time, Payne? This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Short, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a real good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. Go us! That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and there's the whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Alright, witness testimony at the time of the discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but there was a 3-hour off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a videotape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. However, there was a blacked out, wasn't there? Right, you know what to do. I got this one. Alright. Cross-examination time. Let's see. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. Not looking good there. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Gah! The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Short? Do you really? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Short, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These consistent corrections are harming your credibility. And that you seem rather distraught. Well, maybe because he did it. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Short. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Alright. Witness testimony, hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. Oh, you saw the time, I see. Well, let's see. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have what have been I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. Let's present the statue here, I think. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was a statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? Why, you're with your objections, your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Well, I think I'm a defense attorney. Just answer the question, Mr. Short. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock! Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this is a statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. And it doesn't look like a clock. I submit it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness testimony was correct. This is a clock. But how did he know that? Yes, Your Honor, there's a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known that the clock was a weapon is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew that a clock because he Went to apartment, of course. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove it I went in there. I do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the voice. That's what the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Short, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandably, since the murder weapon just spoke to you as the victim was hit. That voice was burned in your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What do you want now? But what's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Nyeh. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? The clock, I heard. No, I mean, I saw, Toupee attack! Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn, give him death. Well, he seems nice and calm now. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, as a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claim. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. You have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think this carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Shaw heard was definitely the clock. A fact clear if you simply try sounding the clock, of course. Let's sound the clock now. Here it is in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? Ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ah! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the dispersation between what Mr. Shaw heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Shaw, try talking your way out of this one. Ha! Ha ha ha. You forgot one thing. Oh, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? Well, it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing. How do you know that it was 3 hours? That makes a point. However, he's right. How am I supposed to prove that? Damn it. I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems your lack of critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I can't let you induct the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Short. I come all this way down to testify and look what happened. Yeah, I know. You freaking lost your wig. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal. Because you are a criminal. You lawyers are all slime. Well, look who's talking. Grr, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing that I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Shaw. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think! But, Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow on the day of the murder. No one could prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean that you still can't win. Try thinking outside the box. Don't waste your time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think it through. Ask yourself why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure that out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right, Right. Yeah. Wait it. Maybe I can prove it. You must have the evidence somewhere to prove it, can you, Wright? Fine and let him have it. Well, Mr. Wright? Yeah, I say the clock was 3 hours running slow the day of the murder. Have you found the evidence to support this claim? Of course. There's a piece of evidence in the court records that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves the passport. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and France is 9 hours. When it was 4 p.m. over here, it is 1 a.m. the next day over there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning the day home. That's why the time you heard had struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Shot, or should I say, Mr. Did It? Nee. And there he goes. Order, I say. Well, this case certainly has turned out to be differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your client, he was arrested and taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright, yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is the only formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, and we win our first case. Woo! And with that, the court is now adjourned. It turns out Frank Shaw was a common burglar. He had posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the houses. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Shaw let himself do his dirty work. When he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Shaw grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Whew! I still can't believe we won. Mr. Wright, good job there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. No, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such satisfying notes. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Oh, come on! We saved your ass and you're still sad. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong with you now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead. Gone soon. Good, wait. No, I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Sydney Windy is gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlights now. Harry Butts, innocent. I see what they did there. Hey, thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off with the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You made this. Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick, can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she said she was just playing me for a fool. Doesn't that make you want to cry? Larry, are you so sure? Like, squeeze me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Is that right? Right? You don't have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she really feels about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? I guess it's a statue. Check it out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't some chump to her. Huh? Where'd you get that clock? This was a clock you made for her, Larry. She took it with her when she traveled. Huh? Oh, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, Make it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little bit better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you do realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or not or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen. Learn. Grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be heading off? Yeah, I guess so. Great, how about dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. How come that sounded so wrong? Oh, speaking of Harry. You were saying about part of why you become a lawyer because of him? Yeah, part, at least. You have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks. And with that, we end our first case. Larry slapped me on the back and, gee, Nick, it's good to have, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me, unless you count the clock he gave Maya. I didn't know then, but that clock was soon going to be the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I would be able to keep. And with that, that ends our first case. We'll begin tomorrow or some other time. Alright, catch you guys later.